watching clips, the best moments from our live streams every Monday and Friday. Don't miss out. Watchale. Mark Zuckerberg meets with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Why does that surprise anybody? I mean, this is all a continuation. The power structure had decided several months ago that they were on board with Mr. Trump. I mean, that's why I knew how the election was going to go, even if my friends in Hollywood didn't, and were shocked, I say, at the results. When I told them,
Shocked, I tell ya.
I knew the exact. I mean, the results were exactly what I expected, and they were just. I said that, and I got unwelcomed at various, writers' boards when people got upset that I pointed this out to them, that this was obvious. But this is the reason. This is an example of where the system's been going. The powerful decided that Mr. Trump is their bet months ago, and that example of that is proved in how the media moguls who were largely critical of Mr. Trump suddenly switched over to refusing to give endorsement to Ms. Harris. The two primary examples being the Los Angeles Times and the Washington Post, which are progressive as progressive comes, right? And LA Times defines what people in Hollywood believe, and or at least reveals what people in Hollywood believe, and Washington Post reveals what people believe in the Beltway. And I've always said Hollywood and Washington D.C. are essentially the same. The joke is that D.C. is Hollywood with less attractive people, right? And so they're parallel systems because they're both about controlling the masses largely through propaganda. But
Let's read a little bit of this.
let's read it. So this is part of that.
The pair had dinner at Mar-a-Lago. The Times, citing sources close to the two billionaires, reported that the meeting was initiated by Zuckerberg, who has had a contentious relationship with the president-elect. It's unclear what they discussed during their meetings. Facebook founder said to have traveled to West Palm Beach on Tuesday before meeting with Trump on Wednesday. Multimedia reports saying the two exchanged pleasantries. Zuckerberg congratulated Trump on winning the election. Trump and Zuckerberg dined together later that evening. I mean, that's really, the kind of like the A to Z of this little thing. But just like you said, people are going to him.
Yeah.
Whether they're trying to salvage
kiss the ring. That's what they're going
whether
this guy.
let me whether they're trying to salvage their failing ratings of their MSN TV show, or earning the respect of each other. Joe Rogan going now, first time ever, to Mar-a-Lago for a podcast because Trump went to him and did 3 hours on his podcast. This is unprecedented, man.
No pun intended.
New media is here, new media is now, and this is a critical time in our country. Cameron, what are your thoughts? More thoughts.
This is the system has decided that Mr. Trump is the way things are going, and that's and what he represents. Because who knows, with Mr. Trump, he's an elderly man. Will he complete his term? I don't know, but I think that the movement that he's put in motion, which is essentially a nationalist movement, is going to continue through Mr. Vance and others, regardless. I think people in Hollywood and in the traditional Republican Party believe that it was a flash in the pan movement, and that once Trump is gone, or he's convicted, or whatever they thought they could do to him, that the movement would go away. It isn't about a person. This is about a historical change in the United States, and I think worldwide. I think everyone is going back to preserving their own home fronts and building up fences and trying to survive. And so the idea of the McDonaldization of the world is over for the time being. Everything's a cycle. It will come back at later points when people feel comfortable. Then they become more about, we're all kumbaya together on this planet. But when people feel insecure about their future and about their day-to-day lives, it's batten down the hatches time. And that's what I think people like Mr. Trump represent, is batten down the hatches. That's a phenomenon. Mr. Trump is the top of a wave. He's not the one driving the wave, which is, I think, something Hollywood never understood. But these media moguls do understand that. And that's why they're kissing his ring, because it isn't about him. It's about a movement that is now worldwide.
Media's coalescing, like they got to change their game because old media is dead.
They've accepted that. They've
accepted that, and the future's now with podcasts, with you Tom. Hopefully, you're getting information through many different sources and coming up with your own opinions.
Yep.
So while that might be true, two truths can live in the same place.
History is always cyclical. This is the moment of history we're going through, and it is an inevitable moment.
Mhm.
And the cycle, when the world feels stabilized again and people feel safe again, then they will be open to more progressive ideas. Progressive ideas thrive at times when people feel safe. When they feel
So,
unsafe, they tend to go to conservative ideas. It's just a pattern.
Fletcher, any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I think you see kind of like a shifting now in a lot of industries. A lot of things that are happening or getting like slight tweaks. A lot of stuff is coming out. You did see and even like Disney Plus had some series that had some questionable stuff, with kids and all that kind of stuff that was completely removed, episodes removed. And you see a lot of, I mean, Apple just came out with an ad that's completely like pro life, pro family in a sense. Um, so you have like, wow, a lot of these companies are kind of like shifting gears a little bit. It's going to be a slow process, but it's kind of like Mr. Bosch said. So, when times are tough, you just want that hardcore, let's get something done. And then when times are easy, then hey, everybody's like, hey, let's go with some more liberal ideas. You know what I mean?
It's just human nature, and we've all seen that famous meme of, like, like, good times create weak
Right,
men create bad times create strong men create good times. That cycle, that meme. And I mean, that's a simplistic but I think accurate view of history. And so we're at a bad times moment, which is creating strong men and women. And they're going to create a good times moment. I've said for a couple of years now that the 2020s will become one of the greatest eras of filmmaking for some of the reasons we're talking about,
right,
because of new technologies, new people coming up to the plate, and now Hollywood itself adjusting to realities. We're in the shift now to, I think,
right.
great storytelling.